Sound, sound, sound. Sound? Good? Sound? Logitech, yeah, okay. Alright. Sounds like, I think my sound's coming in. Let me know if it is. I hope so. Anyway, I can see the little bar moving, so I'm going to assume I do have some sound. Anyway, so today we didn't really do any Black Friday shopping, which was good. Actually, we did go to a couple of shops, though. The only thing we did buy today, of major purchase today, was we went out and picked up our Christmas tree. But other than that, we were pretty good. We were able to stay away from most of the headache. But tonight, you know, I decided to try to get a little bit of work done on some stuff before the major commission stuff comes in. So I've been like stamping bases. So I made a bunch of these. These are the herringbone brick things that you see. I'm using them on everything right now because they're great. They're just really they're versatile in that I'm using them for a lot of stuff. Like you might have seen them on Wild in the Streets. I use some on my even a couple of Relic Knights miniatures has them. But tonight, what we're going to be working on is I've had these guys forever. These are Batman, the animated series miniatures. Ooh, maybe I can get. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. So let's get some focus going, and then we can actually take it off autofocus. Oop. See if we can get that to focus. That's pretty good. Getting there. Oop. There we go. All right. So what I'm working on tonight, I'm actually going to get them to focus right there, because that's what we're going to paint. Nice. You grew up with that show. Yeah, that show is. I'll be honest with you. I haven't actually started watching the show until very recently, and I picked these miniatures up about a year ago, actually, over at one of the strategic cons. They were on sale, and so I picked up this model, and I picked up this Catwoman, and they're super fun. And I haven't painted one yet, and it really wasn't until recently, hanging out with Mark, and we were looking at the games we were playing. We play a lot of Relic Knights and Guild Ball and that kind of stuff. And he went and he picked up the Suicide Squad box set that came out from Night Models. And you guys have heard me a bitch about Night Models on this show, and even on some of my painting videos, how annoying it is to put together Night Models. And he's like, yeah, I picked up this Suicide Squad box set, and I was still pretty skeptical. I said, hey, let's look at the miniatures. If they're put together by a sane person, then I'll consider coming back to Batman. And I had to look at the Suicide Squad set, and sure enough, they did improve their sculpting. Not so much the sculpting, but the assembly of the miniatures, such that a sane person can put them together without trying to kill themselves. So I said, okay, fine, Mark, let's you win. I love the Night Models, and I love I love all the superhero stuff, and I love painting superhero miniatures. But I became disenfranchised with Batman. One, because assembling the miniatures was just so annoying. Like even this guy, like this is one of their older kits. This is their Arkham Origins Batman, and like he has a joint here and there on his shoulder, and they were just awful. Like you would think that's so easy to put together, right? Just cut the arm off straight there, and then I can pin it, right? I can pin it this way. But no, it's this weird angle, and you have to drill a certain way, and I drilled it in, and the slot was wrong, and it was actually in the wrong place, and I was like, screw it, and actually, the pin is running the wrong way on this model. The pin is actually running out this way. Suffices to say that arm could come off, and I would just be upset, because anyways, I do not like the old Night Model kits. This is the Arkham Knight Red Hood. very cool. It's a very cool miniature. I mean, he breaks off at the hands here. That wasn't as bad, so I just, pinned the hands. And that was pretty bad. Here is what the scary one for me was this Catwoman. This is the animated series Catwoman. It's a fantastic model. One piece model, so you're like, oh, you're totally stoked on that. But then look at the ankles on this chick. Like she's actually, I have her kind of leaning back a little bit. I'm gonna have to adjust her pose a little bit. But like that is like, let me see if I can just to put it into perspective here. Here's a 0.3 millimeter airbrush needle, right? Look at the needle and look at that ankle. Like I had to pin that. That was crazy. That was, and I pinned Guild Ball. Guild Ball standing on one tippy toe. This is worse than Guild Ball. Like trying to get her to stand there, just trying to pin. And the stuff I use for pinning, the little wire I use for pinning, when you cut it with the triangular clippers, here it is. This is the stuff here. When you clip it and you have the triangular pin, it just goes straight into your finger. So you just bleed all over the models as you're pinning them. So, not very fun. But anyway, I mean, the models do look fantastic. But yeah, Night Models they've come quite a way in terms of fixing how they assemble their models. But man, they're old. Beware of their older kits. It really is. It really is, somewhat horrifying to work with. So, anyways, the plan is to try to paint this guy tonight, and I am scared, and I'm scared. I don't know what to do here exactly because he just. I mean, this is you would think a miniature painter is going to look at that and go, "Wow, that's the easiest thing in the world to paint, right? It's just you just color by numbers and it's gray and black, and like how hard can that be? A little bit of skin on the face and a couple of white eyes, really not going to be a big deal, right?" Well, here's the thing. When you're used to painting a specific way and you're used to painting miniatures, you look to pick out details. You look for textures, surface like textures on the model. And this model being so, because it represents the 2D animation, it's just so flat and big, broad, swooping areas. It's just so flat that you're like, what do I pick on? Like, to if I'm comparing that to Arkham Origins here, like you see the armor, all the tone there on the armor, and there's a lot of different textures, a lot of folds in the cloak. Like the cloak is really, it's got its own texture to it. If you look at Red Hood over there, he's got lots of detail to pick out. Um, uh, anyway, I don't, yeah. So that's going to be challenging for me because I'm like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to. I think less is more in this case. So we're gonna just try painting him. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna work on him first because honestly, I want to paint Catwoman. I think Catwoman's a cooler sculpt, but I want to see if I can get this like flatter animation style down. So he's already been zenithal primed, as you can see. So I feel like I'm halfway there. So let's see. Okay, let's see. I know that I know this is going to come off douchey because hobby tips always do, but I think if you're needing to pin models that small using the wrong glue, try this stuff. Super Hot Tea stuff by Satellite City, available on Amazon. I'll give it a try. I'm just so used to pinning everything metal. I mean, I even pin resin on occasion when you really shouldn't, but or you shouldn't have to most of the time. But I try to pin every single thing possible. And yeah, my glue probably could use to stand to a little bit better quality glue than what I'm using. But it's okay. It does the job. If that works, that super hot tea hot stuff, maybe I won't pin night models anymore because they drive me insane. All right, so the basic plan here is we're going to start with the gray, which it's basically done. It's just going to be a matter of kind of smoothing things out. We're going to use a lot of glazes tonight, and try to get that, try to get the colors that we want here. So I think the first thing we're going to use is, I'm going to use, we're going to use some of this neutral gray as the base coat, and we're going to, we are going to be using glazes. So, but yeah, thank you for the tip. It doesn't come off as douchey at all. Honestly, I love tips on this channel. I mean, I have this. The channel's cool, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. But I mean, it's I definitely don't pretend to be any sort of expert on anything. We're just it's better that we learn from each other. If you want to be totally honest here. So a little bit of glaze medium, and so I'm gonna make myself a. Actually, you know what? I should probably do a darker. I should probably do a darker glaze first. So I'm going to start with black gray. See, I don't even know what we're doing here. We're just gonna go and see what we can. All right. So I'm gonna do this dark gray, a couple of drops in a lot of glaze medium, and we're gonna see what this actually looks like. We start to so mix this up. They put thinner medium in this. I think I need a little bit. Let's put a drop of thinner medium. Super hot, super tea hot stuff by Satellite City. Is it a cyanoacrylate glue? Like what kind of, or is it like a two-part? Is it like an epoxy type glue? Like what are we talking here? All right. This could be a mistake. All right, and so the idea here is I'm going to paint this on, but really kind of concentrate it more along the shadows and along the edges. And I can paint the bat symbol too. It's really not, I mean, because that's going to be black anyway. So yeah, it's a little dark. It's a little darker than I'd want. A little more. It's a little more opaque than I'd want. Let's try to make it just a super glue. Okay, so it's probably a cyanoacrylate glue. But yeah, if it works, why not, dude? I'm down. Let's give it a shot. There you go. So now that's starting to look a little more transparent. And since the rest of the model is really black, I might as well just paint the whole of the model, except for the belt and the belt and the face. We'll just paint it. We'll paint it this color. Seems to be working. Right? So we'll do that, and we'll highlight the gray up. You can see the back part of the back of the cloak here really didn't hit much with the zenithal prime, and that's by design. So I'm going to try to glaze this model, and he may look a little bit darker than the studio art for the model, but that's fine. Been a while since I've painted any night models. Oh, well, that's not true. I painted Wonder Woman recently. I wasn't very happy with it. I can actually show you guys that. I was having problems with the skin tone. I couldn't get the right skin tone on her. So that was kind of driving me insane. And you know what? This is taking so long to, this is going to take so long to dry. I might as well work on the other Batman at the same time, since this glaze is taking so long. Actually, I should work on the Catwoman. Whoop. So what do you guys, let us know in the comments, what are you guys working on right now? Let's see. It's been a while since I've straight painted. Didn't get a chance, but tomorrow will be different. Nice. I'm hoping to get in, also get in a little bit of gaming on Sunday. Hopefully, we'll see. So see, with her, I kind of even want it to go, I want it to be a little bit thinner even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just mix in a little more glaze medium to this black gray. Because for her, the animated Catwoman apparently is a much lighter gray. So there we go. So if I do that, that's kind of what I was hoping for to begin with. Was hoping for the paint to be so translucent that it does that number. See that? So just kind of shading. Let's see. So many things. Carnival of Chaos, Dragon Ogres. Can't wait for the winter layoff. Nice. Saw that Blood Bowl in the shop today, and I had some thoughts. But I can't, in good conscience, having been a Blood Bowl player for a good 15 years now, I could not, in good conscience, pay for that game. Because we already know how to play Blood Bowl, and I'm not interested in the two starter teams. And we already know. I already have pitches. I already have templates, and we already know that the game hasn't fundamentally changed. So I pretty much know how to play too. So I'm not really, I'm not exactly aching to go to spend money on the repackaged Blood Bowl. Essentially, just gonna wait for someone to pick it up, someone around me to pick it up, and then I'll. There we go. So there we go. I could even, do I have another, might as well, dude. Since glazes take so long to dry, let's see if I can find, another miniature stand here so I can actually do Arkham Knight too, but hell, he's mostly black also, right? Might as well. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, what's up, Mike? Happy Thanksgiving to you, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Just working on some various Batman miniatures. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I had a good one. It was, it was pretty relaxed. Didn't go and see my dad and the family this year. It's mainly because it's just so hard for us to get out of the house with the newborn right now. Like, to get out of the house and then go, then pack up a bunch of stuff. Because if we were gonna go, we would cook the meal there, and my wife would do it. Like, she would agree to do it, and I would feel super bad. Like, I don't think that she should have to cook for everyone there. and take care of, the newborn. I mean, not that I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch the newborn while she was cooking, but I don't have boobs, man. There's only so much dad can do during the newborn phase. When the baby is entirely dependent on mom. As a dad, there's only so much you can do. You got to hang tight for a couple of months, and then dad really starts to become more critical to the baby's life. But as of right now, I don't have boobs. I can't compete. You know, it's like my wife. She's always impressed by like, hey, you have such a calming effect on the kids, and you have to, you know, you have all these different tricks, right? Because I'm like, when you don't have the boobs, you got to come up with all these different cool things that your kids can like about you. Um, so I got to have like a lot of weapons. You know what I mean? I got to have game with the kids. But when you have boobs, like my wife she has the one thing she can do, which isn't actually, that's not true. She can do a lot, but I mean, just saying, she's got that one thing that just overrides everything else, right? Like as cool as I can be right now, as entertaining as I can be to my new son, um, you know, the minute he starts getting hungry or he wants the boobs, there's nothing I can do. Like I can give him a bottle, right? But me, it's not, just not the same thing. You can't do the boob thing. Let's see. I'm with you about Blood Bowl. I have models. I just need the rules. Having a new set of templates would be nice, but not necessary. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for locally, because I know there's going to be like new guys that were previously interested in Blood Bowl. I know they're going to come back and they're going to say, I want to, I want to learn how to play Blood Bowl, and especially here at Lake Forest, somebody's going to buy it, and I'm going to be at the shop, and they're like, "Hey, I want to learn how to play Blood Bowl," and I'll go, "Well, I'm a longtime player, and I can teach them the game, and I can figure out what I want to play." The thing about Blood Bowl though is it really, like, it lives and dies off of the league, right? You got to have a good league. Mike knows this because Mike played in some leagues with me and my brother in the past. You got to have a good, fun league. Um, you got to have fun players. And where I'm at in my life right now, it's very hard for me to get regular time away. I have like I have a roughly the ability to game every 2 weeks, or I would say every 10 days. I have that ability. But it's I can hear my wife. But yeah, but when you have a league, you need to have scheduled games when you get into the playoffs and all that kind of stuff, and um, I'm just not equipped to do it. That said, I do miss Blood Bowl pretty bad, man. I saw the Blood Bowl came back, and I was like, man, and they didn't do Slan, and I was kind of bummed about that they're not going to do Slan, but I can play Slan for friendly games and all that kind of stuff. It's just not gonna. I don't know. Let's. Just can hear my wife. Hello. Hey, what's up, Blade Wolf? All right. So let's see if this is dry. If the inside armor is dry enough for me to start painting that. So now I've gone up to neutral gray, and again it's really thin. So we're just going to start layering up neutral gray. And the cool thing is, like, it looks like I'm doing like really precise work, but because of the zenithal prime and with how thin these layers are, I'm not really. It's just picking it up well. So when I've got a good, like when I'm showing a good transition there on the gray, it's not my awesome skills. It's just the glaze showing the zenithal layer through. Doing well. How was your Thanksgiving? Yeah, like I was just talking about that. Had a good Thanksgiving, nice and quiet, peaceful Thanksgiving. Still eating leftovers. My wife, um, this is our first Thanksgiving in this new house, and my wife, she made me a pumpkin pie, which is great. Like we'd been talking about that forever. Actually, since we were dating, that she was going to make me a pumpkin pie. So we're like 11, 12 years later. She finally made me a pumpkin pie this year, which was phenomenal. It was totally worth the wait. Um, so now when I tell you guys I'm having leftovers, what I'm really doing is I'm just going and getting another piece of pumpkin pie because it's just me and that pie. Uh, it's just the two of us, so I can that pie is specifically for me. It's another reason why it was kind of cool to just stay close to home this year. Was the pie. It's been kind of exciting too with the new place. Like this is our first live Christmas tree in a while. We used to do more live Christmas trees in the past, but we stopped after a while. Like we stopped when we're kind of like, you know, we weren't spending much of our holidays at home before we had kids and all that kind of stuff. So, but now, with the two little ones, it's we are going to be home for the holidays. So, we're going all out this year. We went full tree with the train. We got the my mother-in-law like got my son a little toy train that goes around the Christmas tree. So we set that up. So it's like full blown, you know, festive at the house. My wife did. My wife and I hung the Christmas lights already. So dude, we're just rocking it. Went to CQ to get the gobble dice. Oh yeah, did you get any? I did. I picked up one, and then and my son was with me, so I was like, hey, can he have one? And he took them and put them in his. Oh wow, that's not a good sign, is it? Should I send those back? I don't know. Uh, it'll be really bad Blood Bowl dice if those do that. Um, yeah, yeah. This is the Batman. Yeah, this is from the animated series. Uh, the train nerd. The train was pretty cool. It's not like a full blown, it's not like a full blown H scale train. It's one of those holiday trains. You put the batteries in. It's not like doesn't have you know, the full blown like train track and all that stuff. It still has a track, but it's essentially a battery operated thing with like one remote control. It's not bad though. I mean, I was a little annoyed when my mother-in-law left it there. She left it on our doorstep. I was a little annoyed, I'll admit, because it was like, man, I didn't know if my son was old enough to handle a train or if he's just gonna like smash it Godzilla style every time it rolls around. And he was really good though. Like he wanted to watch it go, and he didn't pick it up and smash it like a lot of 3-year-olds might do something like that. But he was into it. That was pretty cool. You pick up any miniatures while you're there, Tori? You picked up a die. That's cool. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna just start painting these and kind of layering them up. I don't even really need to paint her much. You can see she's already lighter. We're just gonna she looks like she's in like it looks like she's in really good shape. Like she doesn't need much painting, just mostly highlighting, right? Actually gonna let that black dry a little bit more on her. So you can see that it's not. I also, for Black Friday, I also did place a large miniature market order today, because, like I said, Mark suckered me back into Batman. Um, so I wanted to build my team, and so I decided I wanted to field a bunch of miniatures I like, which are in the Batman range. I really like the comic book Talia. Love that miniature. The standard Talia is terrible. She's like the worst miniature in the whole Batman range. No kidding. I had her before with the League of Shadows starter. Um, I sold her, so good riddance there. But I also oh, what was that? But then the comic book Talia came out, and I was like, oh my god, I have to have that Talia. And I love the Nissa miniature and the Shiva miniatures for League of Shadows. I still have my Court of Owls stuff, which is fantastic, and I'm going to keep that. That's just going to be a good 300 point crew that I run. But I wanted to also, you know, have a fun crew full of miniatures that I wanted. So what I ended up doing, here's my build. So I wanted a bunch of the female miniatures, and and then I wanted Catman. So Catman was a must for me. I had to have Catman. I don't know why. I don't really know anything about Catman. Full disclosure here. It's been a very, very long time since I've read comic books, so I can't say I'm like a big Catman guy. But yeah, I had to have Catman because he's so cool, and I wanted Catman and a bunch of female miniatures. So here's my crew. Here's my 300 rep crew that I will be building for Batman. The boss is going to be Nissa, so it's going to be a League of Shadows crew. So Nissa Al Ghul will be she'll be the boss. And then I have comic book Talia in there, and then I have two Shiva agents, and then Catwoman. You gotta have Catwoman, and it's gonna be specifically this one, so that's why I'm painting her. Catwoman and Catman. All right, so it's gonna be a whole bunch of female models and Catman. So it's like, think harem style with Catman as the focal point for it. Cause why not? Cause Catman. It's just, I don't know. I don't even like. I saw that they came out with Catman, and I didn't know. Again, I don't really know the lore or anything. So you guys can turn up your nose at me or whatever. Call me a noob, whatever you want. But I was like, oh my god, who is this Catman? Have to have Catman. That's amazing. Feline appropriate. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna. There's gonna be a lot of. It's chicks with like a cat. Why not? Like, what's the problem? But yeah. All right. So now I've mixed some of that lighter gray into it, right? So I'm gonna build up that layer. I don't even know if my crew makes any sense. I don't think it does, but that's okay. I want a bunch of chicks and Catman. That's what I decided. Like, if I'm gonna get back into the game, I'm gonna, and if I have to build these miniatures, which I hate building, I'm gonna build miniatures that I like, and I'm gonna field miniatures that I like. So, Catman and League of Shadows. That's what I'm building. It's looking pretty good. I mean, not going to be a lot of tone on this model. You have your fun. Best movie of 2016, dude. I haven't watched. I have young kids, so I haven't really watched very many movies at all this year. Um, for me, and I've only watched like two movies of 2016. I'm gonna have to say Deadpool. Deadpool was the best thing I watched this year of a new movie. So yeah, I'm just gonna say Deadpool. And I didn't get to watch it in the theater. I had to just watch it here. But had a lot of fun watching that movie. Thought it was a good movie. I may have too much tone on this Batman for him to be Batman animated series. I don't know. He may be sporting a little more tone than he should. I cry for you. Doctor Strange was pretty good. I I wanted to watch Doctor Strange, but yeah, I didn't. My wife actually, she looked interested in. She's like, yeah, that looks interesting. I'll watch that. She's not really into superhero movies. She loved Deadpool though. We watched Deadpool together and enjoyed that. Um, I watched. I finally watched Force Awakens the other day. It was. It was okay. It wasn't like I definitely, maybe I'm a hater or whatever, but I was not very hype on it the way it was when when the movie came out. So Zootopia and Deadpool. Yeah, actually, TFA is a 2015 movie, isn't it? Yeah. See, I don't get to go to the movie theater, guys. It's gonna be a while since I can go till I can go back to the theater. But yeah, I like Deadpool. Who here is watching Westworld? That's what I want to know. Anyone here watching Westworld? I'm watching Westworld because my wife, she really got into Westworld, and I saw a little bit of it, and I was like, it's probably good enough for me to watch. So one of the things I've done so far this weekend is I got caught up on Westworld, so that my wife and I have a show that we're watching together because we always got to try to um, have a show that we can relate to. And I don't really watch much TV at all. She watches a lot of TV. I Not a lot of TV, but she watches more TV than I do. Like most of the time, honestly, I watch YouTube or I watch I watch a streaming channel. She got into Westworld, and so yeah. Um, I'm hoping one day she'll pay it. She'll pay it forward and or pay it back and watch an anime with me because she hasn't. I think the only anime that she kind of watched with me was Ruby, which is a fun watch. I mean, weird animation aside, Ruby's it's a fun story. It's a especially this last season I thought was pretty good. Let's see. I'm liking let's see. I went from hating it to saying it. Okay, oh gosh, don't get Octave started on Star Wars. I know how you feel. I went from hating it to saying it's okay because all my friends kept giving me shit about it. The Batman looks good, but if you want to stop at noir style, you could. Yeah, like he does look. What's cool is right now he looks like a straight, especially with the basing and all that. They just look like grayscale, black and white, film noir miniatures right now. I don't know. Yeah, I sat through Star Wars and there's stuff about it that kind of drove me insane, but whatever. It was okay. It was okay. It was entertaining. I got to that point. I was like, okay, it's entertaining. It's Star Wars, right? Star Wars isn't. It's been a while since Star Wars was kind of thinky, at least the cinematic Star Wars. So whatever. Um, what I really want to watch is I want to watch ReZero. Really interested in that. I want to watch ReZero, and I know I need to update my anime stuff. I need to watch more anime. Um, I'm liking Westworld, but I like humans. Westworld is it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. Um, I have some criticisms of I don't think I think they're starting to address some of my concerns. I didn't think that the portrayal of rich people um, was quite what I was expecting. But now you're starting to get it. Some of the storylines are on a little bit shaky ground, but I don't know. It's okay. It's kind of a sleepy story. Given granted, there's a lot of violence in the story, but even then, it's like not very. I don't know. It's not. The violence is once you without blowing the concept of the show. Once you get the core gist of the show, the violence just doesn't. I don't know. You're for me. It's I'm like not very. It's not very effective. Like they they portray some of the violence to shock you, but when you keep the premise of the show in mind, you're like meh. And there's lots of deep conversations, and it's real highbrow thinky. Um, there's lots of like subtle hints, and that kind of stuff that gets dropped during the show. Let's see, dude, you gotta watch Samurai Champloo. Ninja Scroll is baller too. Yeah, I've watched Ninja Scroll before. I've never watched Samurai Champloo, and Samurai Champloo is is also an older series. I just need to watch that. She's actually coming along. I think that the main challenge with Catwoman is getting her face right. Very characteristic face. Right? I'm just gonna work on those two for the most part. I could work on this dude a little bit, but not that. Not that into that guy right now. I don't even think I'm gonna field him much. He's a much more expensive Batman points wise. So I need a couple of layers of this lighter gray actually, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Anyone? So Tori mentioned the Way of the Fighter Kickstarter, which ended up relaunching because it just didn't see the light of the day because of the election. That was their official that was their official response when they said, "Hey, we're relaunching the Kickstarter because we didn't feel that when we launched, because they launched the day after election day, so so it got buried under all of the uh, whatever you want to call it, the hoopla of post-election stuff, which is I think is a legitimate call. Like it got nobody was paying attention to anything that day, so they decided to relaunch it, and it looks like they redid the pledges, which are good. Because like really, I'm all about the minis for that. The game looks pretty good, but really, it like for me, the when I look at Kickstarters, the minis are critical because that's your fallback. Like right, so, like if you get in on a bad you get on in on a Kickstarter that's a bad game, you can at least somewhat recover by way of having decent miniatures, right? Perfect example of this is going to be the Bruce Lee game, Dragon Tides by Artistic Justice Games. Um, I will never ever back a Kickstarter by Artistic Justice Games ever again. These guys are shady guys. Um, and I was actually warned several times by a lot of people in the miniature gaming community about these guys when I was like, I want to back this. It's a Bruce Lee game. I'm totally down for that. And they're like, yeah, be careful. These guys didn't deliver on their last Kickstarter, and they do shady stuff. Apparently, they're doing shady stuff with people's money. I was like, okay, I'll take that into consideration, but this is a gamble I'm willing to take, right? $100 for a Bruce Lee miniature for Bruce Lee board game. I'm like, okay. At the time, I was like, okay, I'm in. So I backed it, and they only delivered on the core game. They didn't deliver any of the stretch goals or anything else that they said they were supposed to deliver on, which is super shady, of course. Uh, but and the game itself was really really underwhelming. Like there's cool stuff about the game. It looks like they had a decent, like a half decent concept for a game, but these guys couldn't really see the project through. Furthermore, as a backer of the Kickstarter, I kept getting messages from them. Hey, we need more money. Hey, we can't fulfill your Kickstarter. Hey, we took some of that money from this Kickstarter and we applied it to the other Kickstarter that we couldn't fulfill. And now we can't fulfill your Kickstarter. And you're like, holy shit, you guys are bastards. Like, what the hell is going on here? Um, so that's why, like, the Artistic Justice Games was just, I can't, it was one of the worst experiences I've had with Kickstarter. Um, so I have the core game, and it's not very good. I really tried to like the game. My friends are actually making fun of me because it's like, yes, just give in. It's a crap game, all right? It's not a good game. Um, so yeah, it's not the best game, but but at least I have a really cool like Bruce Lee miniature that I can fall back on. I have some cool stuff that I can fall back on. So, Wave of Fighter looks cool. Looks like a nod to Street Fighter. That's all I know about it. Yeah, it does look cool. The miniatures look fantastic. So I'm gonna back it for a couple of reasons. Well, because I'm a ninja, I already have points. I have ninja credits that you can apply. So when you back a Kickstarter, like as a ninja, when I back a Kickstarter for Ninja Division, the money that you pledge, they'll take out of your credit card or your PayPal or whatever. But when you go into your pledge manager is managed at the store level, the Soda Pop store level. And what that means is you can go in for a lot higher than what you pledged, which is cool if you are, say, an active Ninja Corps, like I am, right? So to give you an idea, like for Way of the Fighter, I could go in on a lower pledge. Like I could go in on, say, a $30 pledge. And then when the pledge manager opens, what they do is they take that $30 and they give you that in-store credit, and then they unlock the ability to buy the Kickstart package, right? So what you can do at that point is go like, well, I have another, say, 90 points in Ninja Stars. I can use those points that I had banked from Comic-Con or from Anime Expo or whatever, and then I can go in for a much bigger Kickstarter. So in the case of Way of the Fighter, like I could go in for on a $30 pledge, have it unlocked, and then so I pay $30, but I really want, say, a $120 pledge. That's easy because then I have $90 banked in for Ninja Core credits too. So that means I can, when that time comes, then I can buy, like I can add the bigger thing to my cart using points. And really, I'm only out $30. That's the cool thing about being Ninja Core and backing their Kickstarters is you can go super big when the time comes to actually backing your pledge. And I've done that multiple times. I've done that with Super Dungeon Explorer, a couple of those Kickstarters. Did it with Ninja All Stars, and it's been great. Like that's a really cool thing to be able to do. Oop. A little too far up the. So like in the animated series, her outfit and his outfit, the same scheme. So you can just paint them together, essentially. Some of us aren't as super. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like it's a cool thing to be able to do as a volunteer for the company. And as I volunteered for a number of game manufacturers, like miniature game manufacturers in the past, this is the only manufacturer that I have that ability with. Like I couldn't do that with Weird, can't do it with Steamforged. Like you can do that with Ninja Division, which is cool. Like you can say, okay, well, I'm gonna back this Kickstarter to unlock the ability to buy it, but then as I'm running my public events, I'm accumulating the points I need to really get in on a big pledge. Like the examples I was using, like I got in on the big like $300 just give me everything pledge, and those are phenomenal. Starting to come together here. Mrs. Catwoman. Just keep those thin layers of gray coming. I'm treating this almost like white. It doesn't look like much on camera, I realize. And it really shouldn't, because these animated series minis should not look like, they shouldn't look hypertoned or anything. Anyway, so I told you one of the crews I'm working on for Batman, that's going to be League of Shadows stuff. But why am I painting these two Batmen? Why am I painting these other Batmen if really my main focus is going to be that League of Shadows crew? Well, I'm actually, because I already have these miniatures, I decided, well, I should build a good guy crew too. Previously, I ran Birds of Prey, which was fun, but I sold that, and so now I want to do, I want to do fun miniatures, and I specifically want to include some of these animated series miniatures because they just look fun. Like, that's a fun looking miniature to me. So I said, okay, I have an animated Catwoman, right? Animated Catwoman, and an animated Batman. What else do I want to add to this crew? Well, I also have this AK Red Hood, which is cool. He doesn't really match them thematically, but he's a cool miniature, and I have him, so why not use him, right? So I have that guy, but then I was like, let's do more animated series miniatures. So what I did was I ordered Batgirl. So I've got Batgirl, the animated series Batgirl, not the regular Night Models one that I did the painting video on, because I'm not going to redo that miniature. I look at, like, as much as I like that miniature, I rewatched my video of painting it, and I remembered how annoying it was to build that miniature. And so I talked myself out of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. We're not gonna do that anymore, right? So right now I'm just giving a little bit of a highlight on the black parts of Batman here, using the gray. And we're gonna start adding some shadow to the black now that the gray bits are starting to look done. It's time to add a little bit of shadow to the black. So, like I said, we're gonna go animated series theme for the most part, and I want to do a short, like a 200 rep crew, essentially, with the Batman animated series stuff. So it's going to be Batman, maybe Catwoman, depending on what I'm playing that day, but also the Batgirl. So we're going to have Batgirl, and I ordered Black Canary. So I ordered Black Canary from the animated series to use. That should be good. So I'm kind of excited about that. We'll see how that goes. And if I like that Black Canary, and I have Batgirl, well, hey, I'm 100 away from rebuilding Birds of Prey, but Birds of Prey animated series. I don't know if they're ever going to come out with a animated series Huntress, but if they do, then for sure I'm going to go that route. You can see I'm just building a little. So this is where you take that glazing, you just go really lightly, right, to highlight. See how that works? Just kind of dragging that out. You see how I screwed up right there? You can just feather that out. That's the cool thing about glaze. It's so easy to correct when you're screwing things up. Because I screw things up all the time. So here, see how it's like way too much highlight on the cloak there? It's okay. Just add a little water to your brush and feather it out. Cool, cool. All right. So now, well, hold on. So so her mask is kind of black there. See how her mask and her gloves and her boots are kind of black. So what I can do is let's just add a little shade to that. Should actually be doing this after I paint in the eyes and all that stuff, but it's okay. I think we're gonna give up on her for tonight. We're gonna focus down more on Batman. And we'll just add color to her while we're waiting for stuff to dry. I'm gonna, okay, all right. Let's do one more little layer of black just so we know. The mask really should be black. Okay. So now let's make a black glaze, like an actual. We're gonna make a dark black glaze to use. It's kind of like a wash in this case. Or I could use, like I could go black gray. No, let's use an actual. Let's use black. I'm not going to use an ink glaze because I don't want it to look too shiny. Although ink glazes are really fun. I use a lot of ink glazes when I'm painting. They're fun for like non-metallic metal type effects. Welcome back. So we're working on getting some shadow into the miniature. So we're going to apply a I could also apply like a midnight blue glaze too on the cloak. Like if I wanted to go a little earlier series, I could do that too. Ooh, that's really dark. I don't know if I want to go quite that black. Well, let's make it super thin, and that way we won't have to worry. Let's just make this super thin. I'm actually using a lot more thinner medium than I normally would. All right, and I'm going to start off in the deepest recesses of the model and kind of bring it out, bring those shadows outwards, right? So like way back up in here. My son is still awake, little 3-year-old. Still awake. It's gonna be fun. Right? Hey, what's up? Hey, David, welcome to the feed. Thanks for joining us while we're painting a little bit of little Batman here. Yeah, I kind of want to add a little bit of, um, tempted to add a little bit of blue to this Batman, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's just continue on with this black glaze, then we can decide. If I use blue, I may just go in with a blue wash. Do it. Yeah, let's see if, right? I mean, it's the worst that can happen. I have to repaint black. Not that big a deal. You may not even see much of it with how black this model is. Man, he's just, there really isn't much, by the time you're done, like, glazing and washing everything in, it really doesn't look like I've done much besides base coat the model, does it? I'm going to thin this out a little bit more as I work my way up the cloak, because I don't want to lose too much of my detail here, right? How's the playstyle of Batman miniature game? Um, it's actually kind of cool. I mean, it's a heavily thematic game. It's I wouldn't consider it one of the better miniature games in terms of its raw mechanics. It's not like this heavy. It's not like this rewarding, deeply rewarding tactical experience the way, say, a War Machine or Guild Ball or something like that is concerned. It's more of a you're playing this game really more just for immersion's sake. So you play it because the rules for Joker feel like Joker, and you play it because the rules for Batman feel like Batman. You don't play it because it's like this heavily, this really clean rule set that's great for tournaments and all that stuff. You really play it because you're a fan of the universe, and you're a fan of Batman. That's what this game really draws, is the people who want that thematic experience, and I like that. It's good in that sense. The minute you start to try to make it into something other than that, you're not going to have a good time, because if you start comparing, okay, well, how clean is the rule set compared to other modern day skirmish games, you're going to feel a little disappointed there. How is it? How does it stack up um, in terms of its availability to people? You're going to also be disappointed there. It's here in the States, it's a more difficult, one of the more difficult miniature games to get a hold of. But and it's got its quirks. It's a Spanish company. Their rule sets are they suffer a little bit from translation, and yeah, I don't know. But if you want to play Batman the Animated Series versus Mr. Freeze from the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze, you could totally do that in this game. That's really where this game shines. If you want to see Adam West Batman take on, the Bane from the Dark Knight series, this game is great for that. So, I don't know. Take that for what it is. Okay, it's coming along. Looking pretty good. Let's let that dry. And I guess what I can do right now is we can start to work on the skin a little bit and the eyes. All right, so and also the belt. But let's work on the skin. Okay, so I use this. So I'm using the Reaper system right now. Actually, no, let's not. Let's not use the Reaper system right now. Let's use our old standard Vallejo game color system. Just good old their skin system with a little bit of water, right? Because we don't have much real estate here with the skin. And let's use a better brush for this. Need to give it a go sometime. Also, like the look of the Marvel Universe miniatures game and the DC miniatures. I've heard good things about about those systems in that they're simpler, they're more streamlined than Batman is. One of the criticisms of Batman is it feels clunky, and those games seem to be a little more streamlined. So I am very interested in the Marvel game because I think that I really love the Emma Frost miniature. I love the X-Men miniatures. So I'm probably going to go there. Batman looks a bit more quirky with the Let's Make a Plan section because I'm always trying out new systems for personal fun. Yeah, I think they should update Batman to be more similar to the DC and Marvel games because the game does it could really use some streamlining. So I'm painting the I'm just painting in the skin around the mask. Okay. Nothing interesting there at all. Um, Batman Miniatures game can be nitpicky with the rules. The Marvel game is much easier to figure out. Both really fun for different reasons. They've introduced many of the Batman minis to the DC game. Nice. I'm glad somebody's on here that can speak a little bit more to those systems because I am trying to get. Because Mark is the guy that I play Batman with mostly. I'm trying to get him to play some Marvel with me because I I've been I would say I know a lot more about the X-Men universe. I used to read the comics as a kid. Uh-oh. Get a cat in here that's not supposed to be in this room. Let's see how it is, cat. Oh, that cat's really just gonna wait there. He wants me to give him water. But he already has water. He's just being a jerk. Just being a punk cat. And how interesting is it that the minute I picked up the Catwoman model, he walked in here and started meowing at me. Where's the... Oh, her nose is actually sticking out below the mask. Okay. Just that part of the nose. All right. All right, now let's start to work. I'm going to start to use some of this tanned highlight. Seems like a fair mid-tone to use. Am I doing that right? Looks right. Yeah, it looks right. A bit of water there. Oh, you PM'd me the link to the new cards. Cool. Thank you. Hey, hey, hey. Did I do something wrong? Oh, don't fall, Batman. Did I do something wrong on Batman? Yeah, his face, skin of his face actually goes out quite a bit more. Yeah. Like I kind of have it right there, but it goes out a bit more up. Boop. Oops. A little bit. Smudge there on his See, I got a little bit of the skin tone on that cloak. Let's cover that up. Whoa. All right. Oh. Okay. So we've got the other. Oh wow. See what that's wild. It keeps showing up because that skin I didn't. That's the difference between thinning with water and thinning with glaze medium. You see the glaze medium is bouncing right off of that, so I got to let that dry totally. Then I can touch up that part of the cloak that's got the little dab of skin on it. I run only villains. Animated bats, I don't know. Yes. The miniature being so black and white, you guys can't really see the detail of the skin. But yeah, there's a couple colors on there if it makes any difference to you guys. All right. And let's do that with her too. Just because we're waiting. What teams do you run? Yeah, I think I was mentioning earlier. Right now, all I have for me is I have Court of Owls, which is just the original Court of Owls set. I don't have the comic Court of Owls or the animated ones, and the minute and like kind of a hodgepodge of miniatures. I don't remember if I sold my Adam West Batman or not. I hope not. It'd be fun to run Adam West Batman again. All right, let's paint in some eyes. A little white there. And let's look at, okay, so I'm going to use this golden brown here to kind of give an outline of Catwoman's eyes, just a little bit. Since we're going to paint her eyes in. All right, a little bit of water there. With how simple these miniatures are, though, I don't really need to. Like their color schemes are almost identical. It's pretty wild. Oh, the other thing I can do is I can do the gold around the. I can paint the undercoat for the gold belt. Whoa. No, that was not dark enough. Nope. Ah. Let's go a little bit darker. There we go. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna paint this in. This is the undercoat for the gold. You got like a gold belt. There's a moth flying around. And then we're gonna paint that as the undercoat. Let's see. Hi, Greenleaf. Hey, what's up, man? I may fold and get the Wrath of King starter box. I do like my Wrath of Kings. It's been a while since I played it. I've been wanting to play it, but just can't ever seem to get there in time. Some of the local guys are playing it, and they know I play it, and like they want me to show up, but they're playing it like, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. I'm still at work, so that's a problem. Yikes. Man, whenever I thin with water, I'm making mistakes. Alright. I'll let that dry. It's looking okay. Let's give it a little more. Looks like you have to play pretty aggressive due to explosive collar. See, all this stuff sounds cool, man. I can't wait to get back and discover what you guys are talking about. Oh shoot, I'm gonna. I'm just painting in some little more shadows here. Kind of tone them down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Let's continue on Catwoman's face here. A little bit of, we're going to do a little bit of whites of the eyes. I might have gone in a little too much water here, but that's okay. Ooh. Went in way too much there. Wow, I have to redo that eye. Really screwed that one up. Screwed the pooch on that one. Alright, let's try that again. A little less water this time. Alright, try this again. Okay. So we got some eyeballs there. Let's put some eyeballs here. Wow, there's a lot of tactical discussion going on with the Batman here. Wow. So you just put him in this, you put Deadshot in the sewer and then pop out and kill him. Kill the enemy leader. Okay. What am I doing? That's like a, that just looks wrong. What did I do there? It looks like I missed totally. Yeah. I have to repair the eye here. That's not working so well. Is it me or is his eye crooked? Hmm. There we go. Looks better. Still needs a little cleanup. It's doing better. Overall, he's doing a lot better. Okay, there we go. Starting to look like Batman now. That's good. Let's work on his belt a little bit. I'm gonna do heavy gold brown. We're just gonna finish him off. This is we're in the easier like parts of this painting process now. Right. So now we're just gonna paint in the gold parts of the belt. Ooh. He's great in either game. You guys still talking about Deadshot? You still need to pick up Neeson's Raw sometime down the track. Yeah, I had him. That decapitate rule is disgusting. I was playing that guy for a while. I was like, wow. I don't know how many games I've walked up and decapitated Batman. I think the point there is you have a enemy model who has that kind of ability. You better be careful with your high value pieces around that guy. All right. Looking pretty good. Let's do let's do one little highlight with Iraqi sand, and then we'll work on the basing. Real simple job I did here. Nothing too fancy for sure. I can continue to enrich his shadows or his highlights either way. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to end up basically finishing this guy tonight and getting most of the way through Catwoman. Shal Ghul. Yeah, love that guy. Okay. So now I need carmine red. So I do my standard brick stuff is do a little bit of carmine red. And add a little bit of this chocolate brown to it. That'll make my brick base. And you just kind of color up or down depending on how red you want the brick to be. In this case, the red's going to pop quite a bit because Batman is so black and white, really. I feel like he needs he may need a little bit more washing to him. But let's get this down first. Actually, it looks, I think it looks kind of cool. The way he's at, the way he is. It's really weird how simple this miniature is, but trying to get it to subtly look like there's light bouncing around the miniature. All right. Guess we're going to let that dry for a little bit. Let's work on Catwoman for a little bit. Let's get her eyes in. Right. I'm going to use this foul green for the eyes. No, that's too pale. Never mind. I need a richer green. Let's try this. Let's try this deep green. Ooh, that's a nice green. It should be fun. I'm gonna. Okay. Just trying to get this green to dot. A little bit of a challenge. Is it just me? Is Batman leaning back at an odd angle? He kind of is. Look, if you look at him, he's kind of leaning back a little bit. You can see I've got to readjust him on the base. I'll fix that. I can fix that. It's not a big deal. He's just kicking it back. Look at, she's doing it the same thing too. Wow. Managed to get no dot in that eye. Come on, you. Jeebus. My kid is still awake. Just chilling in Gotham, yeah. When you're winning as hard as he is, you're gonna lean back like that. Wow, I cannot get this. There we go. I'm having a hard time getting that eye to dot. There we go. See, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can actually make out her eyes or not. But those are in. Her green eyeballs are in. Let's paint in some of this black around her mask so that you can actually see. Starting to show up a little bit better. Worst minis to pin those tiny feet. Exactly. I was actually bitching about that at the start of the feed. Having to pin these teeny tiny little feet. I am looking forward to painting the animated Black Canary, because that miniature looks fun, as does the animated Batgirl. But man, their feet are dainty, dainty, dainty. Let's paint in more of this black. She got a little diamond in her hand, so we'll paint that in too. And I'll show you how I intend to paint the diamond, because it's going to look a little weird. Whoa. Get a little bit of a whip there. Paint her boots in. So this is just the black glaze from earlier. So you can just keep adding layers to it to make it right. I haven't painted the animated Harley yet. I painted two of the other Harley. I think I painted her crew. I painted her as the leader of her crew, and then I painted, I want to say the Arkham Knight Harley. This Catwoman looks cool. I'm having a blast painting this. Pinning it scared me. But once that was done, I wasn't too worried about it. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's paint the brick in. She is also getting pretty close to finished here. See if we can try to finish both of these. How I do brick is just the laziest thing ever. You just paint it this brick color and then just hit it with the Agrex Earthshade. If you want, you can, highlight it a little bit, but it looks fine. You can, I don't know. I don't do too much to that. Okay, so for the diamond, here's what we do. Super, super easy. Just some blue ink. That's it. Blue ink and a little bit of water. Right. And then if you really want, you can highlight the edges of the diamond. Not 100% necessary, but it helps. We'll highlight that a little bit with a little bit of white if we like. Also going to paint. Good morning, Shadow Cat. Welcome to the feed. Painting up a little bit of these Batman the Animated Series miniatures. Yeah, I'm already decided I like the Batman animated miniature style. They paint up fast, which is nice, and they look great. Just a zenithal prime and a couple of layers here and there, and really not much to them. If I want to do a little more interest on Batman, I can wash him in a blue. I should clean up his bat symbol a little bit. It's a little sloppy. There you go. Just cleaning him up a little bit. Still torn if I want to do the blue or not. I don't think I do. I don't think I want to do too much of this guy. He's already kind of cool. I should actually lean him forward. That's one thing I should do. See if I can do that without breaking him. It's real gentle. Woo! There we go. How's that? Better posture. Better posture, Batman. There you go. Need to do the same with Catwoman. I'm really worried about her, though, with how fragile her ankles are. Really worried about this. Looks kind of cool, though. Let's paint a little bit. Let's just do a little bit of highlights on the diamond. There. Now you got a little bit of light showing on the diamond. Right. And if I overdo it, just come back with a little bit of the ink and soften it up. There we go. Yep, Adam West Batman would be having a word to him about the importance of posture for crime fighting. Now look here, Batman. Holy scoliosis, Batman. You'd have Burt Ward coming in. Ooh. Did you hear that? Like, you hear that little snap? Terrifying, man. Woo. Woo. Okay. Okay. She's just so skinny. Like, those ankles are going to snap. Somebody's going to spit at this model, and the ankles are going to snap, and I'm going to cry real tears. It's going to be bad. Anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Agrax Earthshade on the bat here. Catwoman's base isn't quite ready for the wash. It takes a little while for that to dry. But we can at least finish him on camera so you guys can see Batman done. I'm gonna look like she has a dot or something. Oh no, that's just the shadow. She looks pretty. Okay. She looks pretty good in real life here. Okay, so again, this is like the sloppiest technique ever. Just take regular Agrax Earthshade and just hit the model with it. And that's all you gotta do. Like I said, if you really wanted to, you could highlight the brick some, you know, make it look dusty or whatever. It's gonna look fine though, frankly. Looks good. I mean, you're just gonna do that. Well, I need sleeps. Good stream tonight. Have a good one, everybody. Good night, Cameron. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck. Show me your Kingdom Death, dude, when you paint that, when you get that thing painted. I'm really excited to see what you do with that one. All right. Let's paint his base in. And that's it, man. We'll just call it. Because I do have to get up early tomorrow. I'm going to go see my dad in the morning. But I feel like, I don't know, man. He looks cool, but I feel like I'm not quite done. And the thing is, when you look at the studio art, I am done. They don't do much to the guy. But I feel like I'm not quite done. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out. I'll have to go through my Batman stuff and see if I have see if I still have Adam West Batman. I think I do. I like him too much. I don't think I would have sold him. They're only 5 points different between him and Adam West Batman. Yep. Maybe I should do a wash just to make him look smoother? Or does he look okay? Should I do I don't know. I don't think the blue, well, the blue wash might give him some interest, but I don't know. Anyway, let's finish Catwoman too. And let's paint her base in. These do paint up real quick. They just look good. The animated series stuff just looks cool, I think. And you don't have to do a whole lot to them. Okay. Like she could use with a, she could go with for like a little teeny tiny little highlight on the top of our mask. But really nothing major on her. This guy could still go for some highlight here across his chest. They do look fun though, don't they? So up soon, coming soon, I'll have to paint this guy and Red Hood. Red Hood should be fun. I'm looking forward to Red Hood. Should be interesting. It's totally not my style of painting, the way they sculpted him. It's like really, he's got lots of belts and grooves and stuff. I don't, it's typically not my style, but be fun nonetheless. Yeah, I'm gonna, so, I haven't decided if I'm gonna wash him blue or not. I don't think that's really gonna give me anything. So I think I'm pretty happy with him the way he is. He's got really kind of subtle highlights on him. I'm afraid that the blue will actually, the grays will actually pick up the blues and make it look weird. So anyway, I'm gonna put that there. It's 11:30 at night. I gotta get up early in the morning, guys. So anyways, let's do one last look here. So here's Catwoman animated series. Can't really make out the detail on her face, unfortunately, from the camera. But she looks cool. Obviously, Batman, real simple miniature. He looks cool too. So, anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. That was a fun one. I really enjoyed painting that. Yeah, I'm going to be painting some more Batman in the near future, so stick around. I have that whole crew coming in. It's going to be a lot of female models, plus Catman. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching. Have a good night, guys, and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holiday weekend if you're here in the U.S. If not, enjoy your holiday anyway. Uh, Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.